Hello, I'm Steve Porter, and we're here to talk about three things at Disneyland that we wish Walt Disney World would bring over here to the East Coast. So I am here with Craig Williams.
Hello.
And to my left is Rhino.
Hello. Just Rhino.
Just Rhino.
Like Cher.
Yeah.
I like that.
Anyway, so we will move on to our top three. So I'll go first. My number 3 is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride / like the amount of dark rides that they have in their Fantasyland. I just really like that because there's a lot of like 10 to 15 minute waits I've noticed because they have so many just like little small rides there that it makes me incredibly jealous because our Fantasyland seems just kind of like mass produced and it doesn't have like the intimacy that Disneyland's Fantasyland has. So
Oh, yeah. There's one thing that I think anyone will agree on after going to Disneyland's Fantasyland for the first time, and that is that it's nearly a perfect place in terms of the amount of attractions, the different attractions, having stuff like Mr. Toad, Alice in Wonderland, even if you... Pinocchio, thank you very much. Yeah. There's just so much great things happening.
In that little
area. Everywhere you turn, there's an attraction, and it's also really well themed.
And they're also all very classic Disney movies, and I like that. And I like the new Disney Pixar movies and stuff like that. But there's something special about a Disneyland attraction of the older Disney movies to make it extra special to me. So that's why it was my number 3. Craig, what was your number 3?
Well, my number 3 is actually, it's got an asterisk next to it. I wish that Walt Disney World could get the same quality of corn dogs that Disneyland has at the Little Red Wagon in Disneyland Park. And so the reason I put the asterisk there is because at Disney Springs, we have our food trucks. And one of them does feature the Disneyland corn dog. But while it is a good way to get your fix if you're not out at Disneyland to get that corn dog, it just isn't quite the same. There's just something a little bit off. And, maybe chalk that up to the fact that you're eating it at Disney Springs and not in the park like you can at Disneyland where you have the view and you have Main Street. And, I've talked at length about how special corn dogs are at Disneyland. And, that maybe it could be replicated here if we put it in the Magic Kingdom. Right in that area. I think it could maybe use the same recipe and all that. I just think it would be an absolute winner, and I think the lines would be even longer at Magic Kingdom than they are at Disneyland for it. But
it seems crazy that they don't have this as an option at Casey's to me.
Yeah, you have the corn dog bites there, but they're not the same. They're literally the corn dog bites that you can buy at the grocery store.
Yeah, it's like the frozen ones that they refry.
And I remember going on my first trip to Disneyland with you, and you were like, this is a thing you have to do. And I don't like corn dogs, but that corn dog at Disneyland, I've got to get that every single time because it is delicious. There is something magical about it.
It's because I show you the way.
The way to a good corn dog.
So that moves us on to Rhino's number 2.
I'm going to say the Uva Bar. This is located in downtown Disney. Everything is very close in Disneyland. And if you are staying at one of the resorts at Grand Californian or the Disneyland Hotel, you can just kind of walk in through downtown Disney to get to the park. And there is a restaurant. Is the Uva Bar an extension of the restaurant?
It's part of... Yeah, Uva Bar is the outside bar for Catal.
Catal, okay. So I've never actually eaten in Catal. I've only used the restroom in there. But Uva Bar is located just like outside in the round. And it's just this bar in the middle with tables around it. And it's something that the Disney Springs area here has really expanded and offered some awesome, unique dining experiences, a lot of rooftop dinings. That's great. There's not really anywhere that seems as casual as the Uva Bar is to me. It's a weird magnet. I feel like I'm there every trip. And I have really good memories there. Like I've met some listeners there. I met some friends who live in California there. Being out there with you guys,
you're very much in it. You're very much just surrounded. You're like taking in downtown Disney while you're there.
Exactly, and it has that California weather really supports that type of an environment too, because it's always going to be cooler at night. And so it's like the end of the day, you've walked, you can enjoy just an adult beverage, and they have really good food at the Uva Bar too. Like I've enjoyed everything I've eaten there.
A lamb burger. They have a lamb burger. I love getting the lamb burger.
They do. That's really good. Lamb, was it?
A lamb burger.
But yeah, I kind of wish there was like an Uva bar here, but I don't know where you would put it, and I don't know that Florida weather would necessarily.
Maybe it's just one of
counteract
those
it, but-
things where, it's special for Disneyland
Yeah.
and they can't reproduce it really. But
I would take out the Mad Tea Party and put it right in there. Good space.
Oh, really? Right,
also
right
round.
in Disney World, right in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, you wouldn't have the booze, but
That's
It'd be a
I'd
great
like
little
the
bar
sitting
right
area.
in
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, that'd be
just be
kinda
able to
cool,
sit there.
actually.
Yeah.
okay, so moving on to number 2. Sorry, or no, did I do-
Number two.
Number two.
Oh, number
Steve.
2.
Number two.
All right, I got lost. My number 2 is Hyperspace Mountain / just their Space Mountain in general. They ride 2x2, and it's just it seems like Space Mountain on a larger scale than ours almost.
Well, they
even
have
though-
those awesome speakers
Yeah.
that are right behind your head too, so the soundtrack really comes through.
Yeah, it's really like blasting in your ears,
Yeah.
and you get like totally like into the ride. Like it's
a little more immersed.
yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Yes. And then with Hyperspace Mountain being Star Wars themed, it just puts it over the edge, and it's just like blows your mind. So
Yeah.
that was my number 2. Sorry, I keep getting lost here. But Craig, what was your number 2?
Well, I also went with an attraction for my number 2, except mine is Indiana Jones Adventure. So I know this is one of those attractions that everyone who's done it has said, well, why isn't it at Walt Disney World? Why didn't they put it in Hollywood Studios, take over this place where the stunt show was, and just place it there? And I'm in that boat. I'm part of that team. Like it
should be.
It is one of the most perfect Disney attractions from start to finish in terms of a great story, an immersive queue. Just everything about it is absolutely perfect. And while I do enjoy the specialty fact that it is a reason to go to Disneyland for that destination, as a whole, I think it could also work well here and still in Hollywood Studios. Indiana Jones needs to get a little bit more love, especially if the new movies are going to happen. And it still is a perfect time to bring it over. I know it's the exact same track layout as Dinosaur, but it doesn't matter.
It
It's a
doesn't
different
feel the
beast.
same. Yeah,
No.
it does. It's like what you said. It's so well themed. We said immersive already. It is one of the most immersive rides out there. I would say.
yeah.
It's 20-something years old, and the attraction, the vehicle movements and stuff like that, they blow my mind still.
I don't even take the argument of, it's the same ride vehicle, so we don't need it. I mean, we have a million Omnimover attractions, but we can't have another.
Another.
And
I'll make that argument because Dinosaur is my favorite ride.
Yeah.
So, like, why? Okay, well, I would love more rides like that don't involve simulator. I mean, I guess technically it is a simulator, but it doesn't. A non-screen simulator.
Yeah.
And that would be. That'd be great for somebody. When I was a kid, I was too afraid to do Everest or Thunder Mountain or Space Mountain. Like, this was right there for me, right in the perfect realm. Would have scared the crap out of me as a kid, but I still would have loved it,
So that's a really good one.
Yeah.
So moving on to Rhino's number 2.
Club 33. I have this as number 2 because I think everybody knows what my number 1 is, but not even necessarily the actual Club 33 because I do love the speciality of it at Disneyland, and I know that not everybody can experience it. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying like, we'd be members if it was out here, but I just like the idea of this like kind of cool, semi-secret,
Exclusive.
like a little speakeasy idea of this place that's like hidden away and something special for people that are from there. You know what I mean? Like, because obviously if they put one at Disney World, that's what it would be for. It'd be for annual pass holders more than anything, I'm sure. But I would just love something like that kind of celebrates the history.
Can I spin off yours a little and give maybe this is my honorable mention, I guess, but maybe they could have. I've mentioned this in articles before. It'd be awesome if they had where the bypass is now, in the Magic Kingdom. Mm-hmm. If they had a smaller version of New Orleans Square back there, that would be pretty cool. And then they could have Club
Corey's gonna
33.
slap you right in the face for how you just said New Orleans. Too.
But then they'd have to have the bypass, I guess, on the other side. But they could make it work.
No, I agree. I think there is something about that too with Club 33 and it's in New Orleans area and like it has that. I don't know. It's all themed like that inside too, but something like that at Disney World, I would like that.
So
Yeah.
very cool. All right, so moving on to my number 1. This is kind of broad, but I just kind of like the close proximity that everything is to each other in Disneyland. Like when you park hop in Disneyland, you truly are park hopping because it's like
Like a skip and a hop
yeah,
away.
you literally are hopping to the next park. And it's just so easy to get around, and you can get from your hotel to the park in super, like, everything's so close. Like, the furthest hotel away is probably closer. I don't know this for a fact. I could be wrong. But my guess is the Disneyland Hotel to the parks is still probably closer than the Contemporary is to the Magic Kingdom. I don't know that for a fact. They're probably close. But still, the fact that the furthest hotel there is about the same that the closest is at Walt Disney World is kind of, like, frustrating. As a Disney World person. So I don't know. I just like being able to.
It can't be undervalued, the convenience of being able to walk around there, because you and I even did a vlog where we were in my hotel room in the Grand Californian, and we were like really far down a hallway or whatever, and it took us like less than 15 minutes to get out of my hotel room, and we even got lost in a hallway.
We
So it
had
wasn't like
1 hour or a little, maybe an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, we were in the
we were
room.
in Rhino's room, and we got into the park and then had an hour to spend in the park. So you can't, if it was an hour and 15 minutes and you're at like Coronado or something like that, you wouldn't like
even
make
if
it.
I was maybe at like the Grand or the Poly, I might even be like, it's a process. Then I gotta go on
the monorail, and then it's just like this and that, and
it's a good point.
so.
It's a very good point.
So, Craig, what's your number one?
My number one is the Disneyland Hotel. And I know what you're thinking. You're saying, well, the Disneyland Hotel's got Disneyland on the name. But, I mean, if you've ever been to the Disneyland Hotel, the first thing you would know, while it is like heavy featuring concept art for Disneyland in general, it's not necessarily like overly like this is Disneyland. Walt Disney World could easily replicate it. And have it be the Walt Disney World Hotel in the same exact way, having different towers or buildings sectioned off that are about the different lands in the Magic Kingdom, maybe even taking it broader, having a Magic Kingdom tower, have an Epcot tower, a Hollywood Studios tower, Animal Kingdom tower, do it like that, having exploring the whole realm of it, and having, I mean, and that's just it. You walk into the Disneyland Hotel and you just instantly feel like this is Disney, and this is Disneyland, what it is like to be here. I think Walt Disney World, while there are iconic hotels like the Contemporary and the Polynesian, that you can get that same kind of like, okay, I am at Walt Disney World. If we had something like this that was just so unique and special and really showcased the whole resort in one hotel, I would stay there every single time.
Yeah, no, I think that's a brilliant idea. And I also think it would be wildly popular because some people love just being wrapped around Disney theming the whole time. Like, you leave the park and when you're at Disneyland, if you're staying at the Disneyland Hotel, you leave the park and you still feel like you're in that park. You still have that park feel.
Yeah, I feel like every time I'm at Disneyland Hotel, when I'm either like showing up for the first time or leaving anywhere around the Fantasyland Tower, it gets to the part in their loop where they have the instrumental When You Wish Upon a Star. And it's like, well, this is like just the perfect Disney experience. It's that you're walking into the theme and you're walking out of it. And there is nothing at Walt Disney World that quite does that. And it is something that I don't know why they didn't explore it any time before, but maybe it's just because they didn't have Craig Williams working for them. Maybe.
So that'll move us on to Rhino's number. What are we on? 1. Wow. I am so lost here. I'm sorry. I don't know. Whatever.
He's the tourist of this little Minnesota. Mint juleps. I love them. I miss them. And apparently they've changed the recipe since I've last been at Disneyland, which is terrifying to me. So I'll be at Disneyland the first week of March.
You better vlog that.
Have
your response.
I'm nervous. It's going to be like just all tears.
Tears.
Is it true that they do a mint julep with Dole Whip in it?
I do not know.
I don't know if that was a self-made thing, but somebody tagged me in a post on that on Twitter. I just don't know. I don't know. And maybe it's just I've grown to love them because I associate them with Disneyland or something like that. But for me, it's a hot day. You get yourself a mint julep. You cool on down. Nice minty beverage. It's very refreshing. And I would love something. I guess here we have, well, they have it in Disneyland too.
They do.
The LeFou's
LeFou's
Brews. Yeah, but LeFou's Brews. Just a big black and blue spot.
Yeah, I think you're going with more the aspect of the mint julep is the iconic drink that you would want here, but just something that's special like that.
Right, yeah.
We don't have any specialty drink like that.
No.
Yeah.
And so I think that's like a missed opportunity, but I would enjoy something that's like that, that can cool you down.
Maybe it could go along with our whole New Orleans Square Club 33 idea.
Yeah,
There you
see,
go.
clearly.
Yeah.
I chose all food because I'm a fatty.
They're all good choices, though.
They are.
All right. So that'll do it. That'll wrap it up for our 3 things that we wish Walt Disney World would have that Disneyland has, that we wish they would bring to the East Coast. That was a little bit of a tongue twister, but thank you so much for watching. Comment below on maybe things that you wish they would bring over to Walt Disney World. Thanks for watching.